Sometime during the early 2000s, while I was riding in a train, I chanced upon this advertisement that was put up by the Singapore Navy. In the copyrighted text of the advertisement, the title was "Life Wouldn't Be the Same Without Safe Seas." It goes on to describe a missile that the Navy had purchased and installed in the ships, called the Esther. The last part reads, "In combat, every second counts. It makes all the difference. But what's the best thing about the radar? It makes sure that you don't even have to think about the sea ever."
We all take the sea for granted, but that would not be possible without the advanced naval technology that is deployed around our shore state. Sophisticated missiles are weapons installed on the Navy's missile orbits can destroy targets as far as 90 kilometers away to avoid detection by radar. They travel at blistering speeds, just a few feet above the waves. They are deadly and they are dependable, but what's the business about these missiles? They make sure you don't even have to think about the sea. Life would not be the same without safe seas.
In this work, in collaboration with Takuji Kogo from Candy Factory, we took this text word for word and we transformed it into lyrics for this video. Mr. Bilahari, a former diplomat, wrote this book called "Singapore is Not an Island." In this talk, I'd like to discuss different ways in which islands disappeared conceptually and physically. In older charts, Singapore has always been presented as Singapore Island. This is a chart from 1973. And you can see that the word Singapore Island is there. This is a post-90s chart. All charts post-90s the word island had disappeared from the word Singapore and it was just Singapore. I will present more instances of the word island disappearing. This is a chart from 1924, and I'd like to point to a particular island. This is an island known as Pulau Hantu, translated from Malay as Ghost Island. Sometime in the 70s, an article came out and it read, Pulau Hantu gives up its ghost. It's now called Pulau Keppel. Keppel being named after a British shipyard. Here is a drone shot of Keppel Island, former Pulau Hantu, where there is a Keppel Marina, a marina for the super rich and their mega luxury yachts. There are many other islands in Singapore which have names with negative connotations. One such island is this island that I will present. This island is called Sentosa. The island is called Sentosa, which has a conveniently slippery name, as during the famed Trump-Kim summit, the Singapore press claimed the island was named after peace. However, the name of the island was known as Belakang Mati. In 1969, the Singapore Tourism Board had a naming competition for the island. The first prize was $500. Further down, there was another article which read, 5 who thought alike win Sentosa Prize. One person wrote a complaint to the Singapore papers. Sentosa is the new name for Pulau Belakang Mati. But I remember that when the contest was advertised, competitors were called to coin a name that was to have a bearing on Singapore's history or culture. I'm sure that a majority of the people who participated in the contest must have been badly misled by the Tourist Promotion Board. Is Sentosa a name that is based on the particular history or culture of the Republic? Definitely not. I trouble myself in writing this because I honestly feel that a far better name could have been coined. the Singapore Tourist Promotion Board came up with a reply. I refer to the letter entitled Sentosa, many badly misled in context. It is correct that the Tourist Promotion Board's advertisement, when invited submissions for the renaming of Pulau Belakang Mati, gave ideation that a name having bearing on the history and culture of Singapore would be desirable. It also stated that the new name should keep in line with Singapore's image of a tourist attraction. None of the entries submitted fulfilled both requirements. As Singapore's tourist industry grows and as Singapore's image abroad as a desirable tourist destination improves, it was decided that the name Sentosa admirably meets the second requirement of projecting Singapore's image as a tourist attraction. This submission was therefore selected as the most suitable new name for Pulau Belakang Mati. After the naming of the island, a terrible tragedy occurred when an oil drilling vessel collided with the ropeway of a cable car line, causing 2 cable cars to plunge into the sea, and 7 people died. Subsequent investigations revealed that the ship had been swept by the strong currents around Sentosa Island, causing this tragic accident. This tragedy continues on and on till today, with an average of 7 people drowning in Sentosa every year, making it the highest number of drownings anywhere else in Singapore. As Singapore modernized, names of negative connotations were renamed and erased, as they were deemed too primitive and too superstitious. But perhaps we have misread the functions of these names, and in our hurry to modernize, we had erased past knowledge. Which begs the question of the original name of the island, Belakang Mati, which means death behind. As Singapore modernized, names of negative connotations were renamed and erased, as they were deemed too primitive and too superstitious. But perhaps we have misread the functions of these names, and in our hurry to modernize, we had erased past knowledge. Off the coast of Sentosa, there's a buoy called Sentosa. Sentosa floats upon the area with the strongest currents in Singapore, which pushes around 4 knots. I propose to rename this buoy from Sentosa to Belakang Mati,